It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. Hold on tight. We're in for an exciting one, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
And off we go from Denver. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll go play action with Nix. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
I like the thinking there, because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against them. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for them on third down.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Nix. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Malcolm Kuntz gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is fielded at the 27. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
And how about this young man? Took the NFL world by storm. As a 6th-round rookie, signature mullet, mustache, but 21 touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great personality, and everyone gravitates towards this guy. Teammates love to win with a quarterback who leads them like that, and fans love to root for a guy who seems just like them.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. His throw incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Minshew sets to throw. This a screen to Abdullah. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Here's 3rd and 9. To throw, here's Nix.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fielded just inside the 20.
It's a 54-yard punt with a return of 11. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3-and-out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's Minshew. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Running from the gun, it's Abdullah. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now Minshew. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. He completes it to Abdullah. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
First carry now for Alexander Madison, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
To throw is Nix.
Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They run it again with Williams. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Working out of the gun is Nix. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Max Crosby. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now a 3rd and 6.
They'll set up to throw.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This is taken at the 23. Call that one an even 60 yards. 6-0. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9.
A toss to the wide side. This is Williams.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Here's 3rd and 7. Off the play fake. Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Malcolm Kuntz there on the tackle.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Nix.
Pass incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Nix to the air.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Up the middle, it's Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix.
Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Bo Nix
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Broncos get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short. Could they just hand it off for another big gain, or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
He'll drop to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
On the handoff, it's Madison.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Another carry now for Madison.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Gardner Minshew
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was Gardner Minshew who finished things off himself with a touchdown run.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They begin the drive with Williams. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now 2nd and 9.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Nix.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Throwing Nix.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
Caught left side, Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
He'll get that complete to Vele.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Here's Nix.
And he's got his man on the out route. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They give it to Williams, running right. Broken tackle. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams.
A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Minshew sets to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Out of the gun is Minshew. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw, here's Nix.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43.
They'll go play action with Nix.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2nd and 1. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton.
And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as a tackle made at the 15-yard line.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. From the gun on 3rd down, Nix steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Williams is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Williams again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. And he wisely will throw that one away. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Here we go with Williams. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's Minshew. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Nix from the shotgun. That's complete to Troutman right side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
To throw is Nix. It's Williams on the catch. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Broncos are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
Williams.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Second and goal from the 1. Williams will try again. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Javonte Williams.
On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raiders offense ready to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the gun, Minshew to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. To the right side, he's got Vele.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
That is caught by Vele.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Nix looking to throw again. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Nix to the air.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards out, left hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. 1 second, all that remains.
They'll throw now on the final play. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Bowers. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
it was former Tar Heel Javonte Williams with a solid first half. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
2nd down and 6 now. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Throw left side complete. That's Myers. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Now Minshew. Short throw caught by Bowers. Will be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 5. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
This 2nd and 4. Going to run with Madison again. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Bowers. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. That's to Mayer, the tight end. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here's Madison running on first down. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6, and now it's 3rd down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently. But it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Max Crosby able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
99 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Throwing Nix.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right.
And they'll run again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation, and he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there. There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll go Madison up the middle.
And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points,
but
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Now it's Nix.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Nix.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Nix.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That's caught by Tucker.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a give to Madison. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's complete into the hands of Myers.
And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
This a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun is Minshew. For Marshall, that's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 7. Off play action, it's Minshew. This goes out wide from Madison.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Minshew. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That one out wide and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is down to 20. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now a 2nd and 6. To throw, here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he's up past the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run it again with Williams, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
To throw is Nix. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Minshew sets to throw. That's to the left side where he's got Bowers. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 36, Minshew. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Going back to Marshall. He's got him again. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On first down, Abdullah. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Open man is Myers. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it with Madison. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll set up a throw. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Gardner Minshew with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 13. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it was Gardner Minshew who finished things off himself with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Well, now how about this return?
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Denver's offense now set to go.
They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Going to throw right side here, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix.
He finds his man, complete. That's Atkins. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Nix to the air. This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So no gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Again, it's Williams. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Williams diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Divine Diablo.
And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
From the gun, Minshew to throw.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Minshew. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 3rd down and 13. Looking to throw it, Minshew. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So a big sack for a loss of 4. It brings up 4th and goal.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
On 4th down, Minshew. And it's caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Terrace Marshall
From 10 yards out.
And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards.
And it's Terrace Marshall who's able to cap things off with a touchdown.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Here's Riley Dixon now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Minshew. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Here's 2nd down. Minshew. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This will be fielded at the 17.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.